get your popcorn ready as we talk about ball. Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, and it's on. Get your popcorn ready as we talk about ball. Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, and it's on. And it's on. And it's on.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. And you're listening to the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, the place to find my raw and uncut in podcast form. So, as the Dallas Cowboys signed their undrafted free agents, and I'll be real with you, Cowboys Nation, some of those guys, they kind of look impressive. There are also those players who would inevitably be waived by the Dallas Cowboys. So I want to talk to y'all about that. I want to talk to y'all about a problem that the Dallas Cowboys brands has placed upon itself being a true draft and development team. I want to talk to y'all about Brian Schottenheimer trying to implement within this football club and personnel the violence that he speaks about. I mean, I'm seeing the violence within these new additions, Cowboys Nation. All that with a splash of raw and uncut during this episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast. All right, Cowboys Nation. The Dallas Cowboys continue to add to those 91 men that'll be headed into training camp to prove their worth, to prove that they should be on the 53-man roster. As of today, there are about 4 players who will not be afforded that chance. The Dallas Cowboys has decided to cut 4 players from the team. Those 4 players consist of running back mainstay Malik Davis. The other 3 were Eric Bostic at right tackle, Brock Mogerson at linebacker, and guard Jack Anderson. Obviously, these guys were depth pieces for the Dallas Cowboys, more like practice squad players, or they may not even make the roster to begin with. But at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys have to make room for the rookies that were drafted during this year's draft, as well as the undrafted free agents that were acquired by Dallas. Those undrafted free agents consist of Josh Kelly, 6'1" wide receiver out of Texas Tech. In 2024, Josh Kelly racked up 89 receptions for 1,023 yards receiving. He was a deep threat for Texas Tech, Cowboys Nation. His ability to take the top off of the defense is super encouraging, seeing that the Dallas Cowboys let go of Brandon Cooks and everything. His NFL comp, though, that's the thing that rubs me the wrong way, Cowboys Nation. His NFL comp is Jalen Brooks. It doesn't set well with me, Cowboys Nation, but we'll see what he has to offer during the training camp. The next one is Trey Holden, 6'3" wide receiver out of Oregon. Holden, he's not a flashy wide receiver, but he has a great ability to find that soft spot in the zone of the defense to help the quarterback exploit it. He's not a burner. He's not the one to super take the top off the defense, but he is a route runner that allows to gain separation from the defensive backs that are guarding him. He has the ability to go up and get those contested catches, and he could make a nice wide receiver 4 for the Dallas Cowboys. He has the frame to be considered a red zone threat and has experience in multiple offensive systems like Alabama as well as Oregon. He also has a high football IQ and a high adaptability to quickly learn the team's system and schemes. His frame, it allows him to be a willing blocker in the run game. More evidence of Brian Schottenheimer's thumbprint on this offense. More evidence of the physicality, Cowboys Nation. The next one we're going to talk about, Tyler Neville, tight end out of Virginia. I'm going to keep it a buck, Cowboys Nation. I couldn't find too much film on Tyler Neville, but what I did find, I was impressed. I really like this pick. Tyler Neville is a 6'4", 248-pound tight end and could be a bad man in the seams. He's light on his feet and he has the ability to make that defender miss. He does have that typical tight end speed, but he can also get up there and high point the ball. I think he would make a nice addition behind Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, and Brevin Spanford. But I'm not going to break down every undrafted free agent that the Dallas Cowboys had, but the rest of them, you got Justin Barron, the safety out of Syracuse. You got Zion Childress, safety out of Kentucky. You got Rivaldo Fairweather, tight end out of Auburn. You got Elijah Clark, safety out of Syracuse, Bruce Harmon, cornerback out of Stephen F. Austin, and Mike Smith Jr., safety out of Eastern Kentucky. But as we all know, Cowboys Nation, some of these guys might not even make the team. This just gives the Dallas Cowboys more of a talent pool to choose from. I mean, I'd like to see Trey Holden, the wide receiver out of Oregon, make the team and potentially have a position battle with Jalen Brooks. But, Cowboys Nation, there are going to be dope position battles at the guard position during training camp. There'll be an interesting position battle with the running backs, as well as seeing who can step up to be that wide receiver 2 that we really need, Cowboys Nation. As of right now, I understand our wide receiver 2 to be Jaylen Tolbert. There is an expectation for Jaylen Tolbert to make that 3-year jump in his performance and his production this year, Cowboys Nation. From the fans as well as the talking heads, Jaylen Tolbert is going to have to look to be a bona fide wide receiver 2 this season. It's up to him to take this opportunity and capitalize on it, Cowboys Nation. This is his chance to show everybody who was asking for the Dallas Cowboys to draft a wide receiver 2 just to back off real quick. That he has what it takes to help take the pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. That he has what it takes to be the legitimate target when the run game isn't working. That he can be the Robin to CeeDee Lamb's Batman. But some feel as if that they have reached the top with Jaylen Tolbert, that he has reached his ceiling when it comes to his talent. In his second year, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, nothing jumped off of the page. Yes, he led the Dallas Cowboys in touchdown catches last year, but that's not really saying nothing, Cowboys Nation. This is the year that's going to tell us everything that we need to know when it comes to Jaylen Tolbert in the wide receiver 2 position. He's had time to develop, Cowboys Nation. Now is the time for him to pop out and show. So, Cowboys Nation, if I may, if you will give me permission, the Dallas Cowboys pride themselves on being a draft and develop type of organization, right? Everybody knows that the moniker is, we like our guys. The Dallas Cowboys draft a player and they're supposed to work with said player to get them to a point where they can take the training wheels off and they can allow him to be a major impact for the team. The fans? Well, we kind of skip steps, Cowboys Nation. We like to look ahead. We can also be hypercritical of a player and not assist in their development. We actually, inadvertently, do those developing players more harm than good. Let's take Tyler Gayton, for instance. The Dallas Cowboys drafted Tyler Gayton with the first pick of the 2024 NFL Draft. I and a number of Dallas Cowboys fans, we were pissed off at the pick. We were pissed off at the fact that they would pick a project player with their first pick of the draft. But with that pick came a pick of Cooper Beebe, so I can excuse it a little bit, to a little degree. But we drafted him high, meaning that this young man needed to be coached up and helped when it came to the learning curve from switching from right tackle to left tackle. We knew that he had penalty issues and he needed to work on his footwork. He needed to gain more tools for his tool bag and he needed guidance in doing so. Long story short, Tyler Gayton needed to develop. Something that fans and the organization take for granted. But needless to say, there have been a number of fans who would look to replace Tyler Gayton at the left tackle position. After a rocky first year, fans were ready to throw in the towel and consider that man a washed draft pick without even affording him the opportunity to develop. Even though the organization swears by draft and develop, they threw this young man to the wolves in week 1 against Myles Garrett, of all people, expecting him to hold his own like Tyron Smith would. He did pretty good, but it's not supposed to work that way, Cowboys Nation. That's the exception and not the rule. Having to throw Tyler Gayton to the wolves was a direct result of Jerry and Stephen Jones allowing Tyron Smith to walk out the front door the year before. Now, just imagine if they had drafted Tyler Gayton and had him learn under Tyron Smith for a year. I believe that would have been a much better output for Gayton and a much better outcome for that left tackle position. Gayton would have been able to start his development behind a future Hall of Famer, and he could have stepped into that role this year instead of being plunged into it last year. But then he gets on social media and Tyler Gayton has to see posts from fans wanting to trade him after the first year, calling him a wash of a first-round draft pick, a bust. Declaring these things after the first year of somebody's NFL career where he certainly struggled, man, that's crazy work, Cowboys Nation. But how does that help him? How does that help out Tyler Gayton? And I mean, we called Mozzie Smith a bust too. How does that help him out? But you see, These are the players that the Dallas Cowboys are going to work with the entirety of their rookie deal to see if they got what it takes to stick it out, to see if they can get a return on their investment. That's going to take a little bit more time to happen, Cowboys Nation. Every player's not going to be that type to be able to hit the ground running, but that's exactly what's expected from the Dallas Cowboys organization and fans, especially if you're a first-round pick. It speaks to the handling of the team, the constant underbidding and friendly deals offered by the organization. Not getting crucial deals done until the last minute, not seriously taking advantage of free agency or the draft or trading. All these things lead to what happened in the draft, us being BPA for specific need. But the ineffectiveness of the front office has put this team in a situation to where it's drafting to fill starting positions. Not any depth pieces. They're looking to fill starters. We didn't go this past draft looking for BPA truly. The Dallas Cowboys drafted best player on the board at a particular need. And I believe it's because of Zach Martin's retirement, where they had a huge need at that right guard position. They decided to dedicate the first round to that position. Tyron Smith left a year before, and Tyler Gayton was the result. They dedicated their first round pick to that position. Tyler Biadasz left, and they dedicated a third round to that position and expect both of them to start. And real talk, Cowboys Nation, the position battles, that's a part of the development process. Being able to have a great starter but draft a dog so he can learn from that great starter is how you want your team to function. If you have to draft in hopes that a player is going to automatically start, you've made a few mistakes as the GM. But this plays into the whole argument of Dak Prescott. There will be a point in time where the Dallas Cowboys have to look at replacing Dak for the future. The right way to go about things would be to have a worthy successor behind him, learning the process as well as gaining the intangibles of a starting quarterback. Don't just pick up some average Joe from New England, no pun intended, when it's time for Dak Prescott to either retire or head to another team. The Dallas Cowboys have been caught with their pants down on numerous occasions, not being prepared for the inevitable, not being prepared for things that they knew was gonna come. But this is why I feel that you draft in order to take the place of the best player that you have in said position. Yeah, we have a great wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, but I want to draft someone who's good enough to either take his place or be a 1A. I don't want it to where if CeeDee Lamb goes down, then we're screwed. I want to draft someone who can go toe-to-toe and blow-to-blow with CeeDee Lamb. I want to draft somebody that can go toe-to-toe and blow-for-blow with Micah Parsons from the edge. And honestly, right now, the edge for the Dallas Cowboys is possibly the most complete position group for our Cowboys heading into the 2025 season. But think about it, Cowboys Nation. Micah Parsons on the right and Dante Fowler on the left. Second team, Marshawn Nealon on the right and D. Easy on the left. Third team, Sam Williams on the left and Peyton Turner on the right. That is a constant flow of players that can successfully get to the quarterback. This position group can properly develop D. Easy because he doesn't have to have the expectations to come in and be the future of that position. He doesn't have the expectations to come in and take a future Hall of Famer's spot. He will be given time to develop, and I wish these other rookies would be given the time to develop also. But Cowboys Nation, I truly believe that it is super important for teams to really prioritize developing these young men into great players. This is going to take hard work and dedication from the players, but also hard work and dedication from the coaches. These players have to be coached up, Cowboys Nation. Yes, they come into this league with great talent, but it's up to the one group to unlock the potential even the players didn't know that they had. That group is the coaching staff. A number of these men will be going through yet another administration. These players will be seeing another coaching staff when it comes to the philosophy and scheme that they want to bring to the team. Last year's draft class drafted 2 players of coaches that are no longer on the team, but it's going to be up to Brian Schottenheimer and crew to get these men to where they want them to be. This actually segues into my next topic perfectly. The more I hear from Brian Schottenheimer, the more I hear about what he wants to implement with this football team as far as a culture and scheme is concerned, the more it makes me want to drink the Kool-Aid. I mean, I've spoken about outside factors being a motivator for people, Cowboys Nation. Brian Schottenheimer accepted the Dallas Cowboys head coaching position with a few things to motivate him. You know, losing my father when I was about 26, I often wondered if I was making him proud. I continue to wonder to this day if I'm making him proud. You know, if he can see me accomplishing things that I never thought that I would accomplish. Being the man he knew that I would turn out to be. I catch myself actually dedicating accomplishments to him. Like, you know, this one's for you, Dad, you know? So, with the late, great Marty Schottenheimer passing and looking down on his son, Brian Schottenheimer's knowing his father didn't achieve the ultimate prize in their respected profession, what better gift would Brian Schottenheimer give to his father and his legacy than winning a Super Bowl championship? What better way to honor his legacy than to bring an organization who hasn't seen a Super Bowl in 30 years a championship? Not only will he be shooting for a Super Bowl championship, he'll be doing it with a team of players that are hungry for the exact same thing, Cowboys Nation. Mike McCarthy, you know, he could have retired. People could retire after winning a Super Bowl and retire Super Bowl champions. The 53-man going into this season, the brothers on the practice squad, each coach on the coaching staff, they are hungry for this success. They're hungry to prove the naysayers wrong while proving themselves right. The sad thing is, though, all of this is going to have to come to fruition with a lack of help from your owner/GM, his son, and the front office. But I'm going to state this right now, Cowboys Nation. You can stamp it and come back to this video at the end of the season. But look at what your owner/GM did to improve this team during the offseason. Look at the movements or lack thereof during free agency. Look at who we've lost in the past 2 years and compare them to the players who replaced them. Did we improve? If you're 100% honest with yourself, I don't think you can say that we improved. The only place where I feel the Dallas Cowboys got better is with the coaching staff, the defensive end position, quarterback position, and probably the linebacker position. Everywhere else, there's issues, Cowboys Nation. But now the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to go into this 2025 NFL season a little bit further behind the 8 ball than where they were last year. The things that we have to look forward to is the return of a number of injured players from last year, like Dak Prescott, Sam Williams, Kalen Carsons, eventually DeMarvion Overshown, and Trayvon Diggs. We have a few rookies to look forward to. Other than that, we're going to have to ask Dak Prescott to rise above once again when we all know that's not the best way to approach the season. Putting the entire offense on Dak is not going to yield you great results. Knowing this, you would figure that they would want to help him, that they would want to surround him with talent. But as of recording this episode, there's no help coming. We don't see any movement in free agency. And the reason why I get pissed with the front office is that they hear everybody, Cowboys Nation. They hear us. They see what we're saying on X. They see what the talking heads have to say. They see that the talking heads said that this team needs a bona fide wide receiver too, and they did nothing to address it in the draft and nothing so far during free agency. Then Cowboys fans are going to expect Dak Prescott to take these wide receivers into a year and win the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott's going to be expected to raise every player's level of play to make them better or something. He's going to be asked to mask the shortcomings of our year one head coach and offensive coordinator. He's going to be asked to call his own plays when he doesn't agree with Brian Schottenheimer. He'll be expected to run the ball more, all the while having these same fans tell the fan base that he had a great team or something, asking why he needs an all-Madden team. Honestly, I want my quarterback to have an all-Madden team. And as it's currently constructed, this team is not set up for success, Cowboys Nation. We're too busy trying to set this team up to compete instead of setting this team up to win. Some people's expectations land solely on the quarterback position, and he's expected to get it done with whoever the front office gives him. The expectations set upon the quarterback's shoulders make it to where the entire team relies on his play and him to play flawlessly. If Dak Prescott makes a mistake, the entire damn team goes under. What other organization and fan base operates this way, Cowboys Nation? But I will say this so I can go ahead and end this topic. Dak Prescott will never get it done if he isn't set up properly. He's not the type to where you can go out there and win with only one wide receiver and 5 possibles and make a deep playoff run. He is not the Michael Jordan type of athlete. He needs a great supporting cast around him to be able to get his full potential out. Knowing this as the front office and GM, why wouldn't you help your quarterback? But you know, there's some Cowboys fans who believe that Dak Prescott's responsibility is to lift every other player's play level. My question is this, though, Cowboys Nation. Whose responsibility is it to lift the quarterback's level of play up? The coaching staff, right? It's incumbent upon the coaching staff to be able to develop a scheme that allows the quarterback to be successful. A scheme that isn't set up to confuse the personnel on the field. I mean, I know a lot of people live in hindsight and consider Kellen Moore to be a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, even when he coached the Dallas Cowboys, but that is far from the case. It took everything that the Philadelphia Eagles had on both sides of the ball to put it all together and win another ring. Jalen Hurts wasn't expected to lift everyone's level of play. He was expected to lift his own and rise to the occasion, which he did. So, see the difference, Cowboys Nation? Can you see the difference? How one organization understands that your quarterback needs to be surrounded with talent, while the other organization expects your quarterback to be the answer to every issue that the team has. Remember, too much of one thing is never good. You don't want Dak Prescott out there slinging the ball around the field throughout the entire game. The more he throws the ball, the more likelihood of an interception. So let's give him a legitimate piece in the backfield to mix it up a little bit, Cowboys Nation. Let's prioritize the backfield so that we know he has a weapon that can relieve some of the pressure. How about this, Cowboys Nation? How about we start drafting in thoughts of replacing our starters? I mean, we may not be in the market for replacing CeeDee Lamb, but wouldn't it be great to have a receiver opposite of CeeDee Lamb that can give out the same output or even better? We may not be wanting to replace Dak Prescott right now, but let's attain someone who could take his job if given the opportunity. Let's start picking our role players as people who can start any given day and not fringe practice squad players. Let's start treating winning seriously by using every tool at our disposal, like the draft, free agency, and trade. The thing is, not one coach can pull the trigger and make those things happen, Cowboys Nation. Not one player on this team can make all that come to fruition. There's only 2 men that can make those things happen, and that's Jerry and Stephen Jones. But all right, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fan family, this is when I pick a few comments from the comment section and give my raw and uncut on them. I also want to let y'all know that I'll probably be going live and making my videos from my brother's house in North Carolina. He was supposed to come up and visit me, but he got rushed to the hospital, and I want to go down there and see how he is doing. But shh, keep it a secret. He doesn't know that I'm coming down. I'm gonna pop up and show on him. But anyway, this comment comes from Cowboys by Nature. This brother has been following the channel ever since the first year, and I want to tell him that I truly appreciate him and thank him for rocking with the channel for as long as he has. The comment reads, Angry, I absolutely love this show, and the graphics and soundtrack are second to none. You are at the top of the game, and only time stands in your way from setting the standard of a grade A podcast. Keep doing you, fam. This stream is the standard to me. Well, Cowboys by Nature, I truly appreciate you for that comment. I truly appreciate you for the kindness and the kind words. Listen, bro, I try my damnedest. Am I the best one on YouTube? Am I the best podcaster? By all means, I'm not. There are some wonderful Cowboys content creators out there that I look up to. But what I do is I approach these videos with the best that I have. I approach these videos to give you guys the best possible content. I know it may not be the best content, but it is the best from me, and you guys rock with it, and I truly appreciate you, and the only way to go for us is up. Continue to rock with the channel. Much appreciation. Love you guys. Cowboys by Nature right there. All right, the next comment that we have is from the Honcho 254. I thank you for rocking with the channel, Honcho, and giving your feedback in the comment section. But your comment reads, we need a Tony/Dez type of connection this year. The honcho, I 150% agree with you. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys feel that wide receiver 2, that X spot belongs to Jaylen Tolbert, but I feel that we need another big body receiver. We need a dominant, a legitimate X to be able to go up there, climb the ladder, get the contested catches, to be able to box people out and get the necessary passes to be a red zone threat. And I'm hoping that Jonathan Mingo is that type of person. I mean, if you look at the film, he may not have gotten too many catches with the Dallas Cowboys. If you look at his route running looks exceptional, Cowboys Nation. And I feel he might be able to have an impact on this team, and that our 4th round draft pick that we gave up for him will not go in vain. Will it be a Tony/Dez type of connection? I don't know. I believe that Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb have that connection as we speak, but I would love to have a second wide receiver on there to have the same connection. If they're bracketing and double teaming CeeDee Lamb, they can go right over to that wide receiver 2, that X, and be able to dump it off to him with absolutely no problems, continuing to work that ball down the field. But I truly appreciate you for rocking with this channel. I truly appreciate you giving your raw and uncut in the comment section. And if anybody in the Angry Cowboys fan family would like to give their raw and uncut in the comment section, I may pick your comment to elaborate on. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, I appreciate y'all rocking with the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, but I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you think about the Brian Schottenheimer situation, and if you see physicality coming with these UDFAs and the people that we drafted. I want to know what your take is when it comes to the quarterback being the end-all be-all for the Dallas Cowboys, and it seems like it happens with no other organization. I want to know what you feel about our Dallas Cowboys, but you know how we do it. We always talk about it in the comment section. But if you're digging this content and want to help get me to 10K, get the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel to 10K, drop a like on this video, and please consider sharing it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and can't wait for training camp to start so we can get into preseason and going into the regular season, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, film breakdown, or Madden 25 or College Football 25 gameplay. Cowboys Nation, like I said, I'm going to be going down to North Carolina to be with my brother, but the content doesn't stop. I'll still be hitting y'all with this raw and uncut from North Carolina. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. I'll be leaving on Tuesday, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.